Hello there. Welcome to my channel. This is Jojo Candelario. Today I'm doing the day two or part two of Karen B's sunset painting. Today I'm doing the composition. As you see here, I'm doing the third of rule, making sure I have a straight line on my horizon here, using masking tape. This is a good uh, way of making sure your horizon line is straight, and making sure the left and right is on the right measurement. That's about in a third for my horizon here. Like I said, make sure you don't put your horizon in the middle. It's much nicer to see if your line is on the third right there. Then you just the guide for that masking tape. That will be my horizon right there. The sky on the top and the ocean on the bottom. So your composition, making sure you have your perspective here, trying to see, laying out the waves right there on the horizon, and another layer of wave. And right here in the frontal here, I'm putting the foam is running like almost towards your feet here as you're viewing the painting. So a lot of patience doing painting right there. Those are my foams. This is just initial sketching. It can be changed a little bit, or we can just later as we go. And I want to put a rocks right here on our left, and a pool of water that it's like it gets stuck there on top of the rocks after the big waves splash in the on top of the rocks. I like to put some little bit of action here on the side, so you will add some elements in there on the side. Oh, what's going on here? And remember, just have fun with it. I like to add some action here on the left side. That way, our viewer can be entertained. And just have fun with it. There's no rule here. Just making sure your perspective, your keep in mind, all of that elements of the painting. Right here, I'm trying to establish a shadows. My sunlight my sunset is coming down there on the third on the right side of the canvas. So right here, I'm imagining this rocks here has a dark area and some sunlight's hitting the rocks on the on the right side. So don't be afraid. Just keep putting that burnt sienna over there. I think I'm using a burnt amber on this time to darken it a little bit. Just lay out your rocks to how you like it laid out. Do as what your heart desires. So here, just having fun here, like putting rocks there. So that way, a big waves coming and splash behind those rocks. And right here, the front, like water flows down like a little, like a small waterfalls, you know, and a pool of water right there on top. Start shaping up the rocks here. Nice right there. Some shadow, kind of lay out your shadow already where it's gonna be. The rocks. And as we painting, we keep adjusting. Right now, right here, I'm trying to establish a little bit of a perspective here. My vanishing point is like where the horizon is. So as you see, the rocks is the one that getting closer to you is the bigger they go, and the farther they are, the smaller. That's a perspective right there to give it a realistic picture. And you can go ahead, grab your canvas, no matter what size it is, and you can start painting. You can either follow through what I'm doing here or compose your own composition. That's a good way of practicing. Right here, I'm just imagining what I like it to be. Like, imagine like you're standing here on the sand in the frontal. You see this foam coming towards your feet and watching the actions here of the waves in a little bit of distance. I like painting water. I like painting the ocean. So here I'm trying to lay out where those waves is gonna be. And sorry for the waiting on my second day of this painting. I've been busy, and I assure you, when I retired from work, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm gonna do every day. I've been doing some short videos. I try as much as I can to share with you. So just bear with me. Someday we're gonna be doing a lot of this, but I'm trying to help you guys out who wants to really learn. So after this painting here, you can keep on doing it, but we'll finish one painting at a time. We will see how this turns out. Trying to put my lines here for my foam that's flowing towards you. So my frontal here. I'm changing the way I'm painting also. You know, as you're painting every day, you'll learn. You're gonna have your own technique, and you could adjust every time. This time, I want to try to paint a little looser because mostly of my paintings are very tight, so realistic. But this time, I want to give it a little bit of loose. Right there, the foam's right here in the front, and waves out there in the horizon. So composition is a bit challenging sometimes. You know, that's why when you something coming in your mind or you get some an idea, sketch it out already the way you want. Forget, sketch it out on the canvas or paper. This one here, I'm using an acrylic paint. I can't really use an oil painting inside the house right now because I'm not in the studio and kids are around. So I use acrylic safety for everyone, and it doesn't smell. It's just water. What I like about acrylic, you can paint it like oil painting. You can put thick paints. Just basic lines for where I want the clouds gonna be. Sunset right there. The sun in the bottom right there. It's gonna be orange and blue. Okay, now let's start painting the skies. This time I'm mixing up a tail blue and white, titanium white. So first things first, you would like to paint the farthest one of the picture, which is the skies, and we paint towards going the front or whatever closer. Blue sky. Acrylic is very easy, but it dries pretty fast. It can dry on your palette also, so be careful picking up those old paint. Sometimes it comes off the palette and it goes to your canvas. But I like painting with acrylic. I've been painting it for how many years now? It's pretty good also for doing plain air because it's quick. It dries fast. You can put a second layer of paint right after. So I'm using the X technique for blending it. As you practice, you'll feel it. You will, yeah, learn. Just crisscross technique right there, just like so. I'm using a angle bar brush. Yeah, sky has to be smooth. It's the smoothest part of the picture. Just everything in the distance is the smoothest. So we gotta try to make this as smoother as we can. Crisscross technique. As you see, it's already dry right away, and then I try to blend in more white to make the perspective effect again. Like I said, perspective is not just a line, it's also in a color. The farther they go, the lightest color they are. To make the illusion of three-dimensional. Now I'm using the ultramarine blue and magenta to create about a little bit of purple on the clouds. The darker clouds. This time I'm using a round, I mean, filbert brush. Filbert brush is good for painting clouds. Again, when you're trying to, when you're applying the paint on the canvas, still doing some zigzag technique and crisscross to fill in the canvas. And remember to also rest your eyes and your hands every like an hour. Stand, go back up, rest your eyes, and then come back. And then just do whatever your heart desire here. Whatever you want to see or what you think enjoyable to watch. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be changed. Like I said, acrylic can always change. You can always put a new paint on top of it once it's dry. So this one here, I'm just roughly guesstimating how it looked like first. Can't wait to finish this one. Like to see sunset, the waves, the rocks, the water. Maybe this is probably maybe another 2 days of painting. So this is our second day for this. First day was I just fill it up with the burnt amber or burnt sienna canvas because it's easier to see your tones when painting on a brown canvas or gray. But you could paint straight from a white canvas. Just making sure I won't erase the white one over there. This time I'm using the yellow and mix it with the titanium white. Any yellow you might have, and mix it with a little bit of cadmium red. This time here I'm using a very small filbert brush and white with a little bit of yellow. By the way, I overlap that ultramarine blue with the yellow orange right there. I apologize, didn't show you that because my video here skips with that, and didn't want to upload, but you get the idea here. You just mix the yellow and trying to lay out here the shapes of the clouds here on top. This time I'm using a pure white now. Yes, as you see, it goes when it dries. It goes a little bit dark. I'm just laying it out. It's not finishing up this painting here with that sky, but laying out all the clouds there. See what we come up. You know, a little bit messy over there. Really, really bright right here on really as we close to the sun. It's bright colors. So right about this part right here, we're just gonna have to rest our eyes and hands and butt by sitting for a full time. So hopefully we see you again on the day 3 for this to finish. See you. Thanks.